it's Dan from Fantastic Books Gaming. I'm just starting the Facebook live stream, so bear with me a second. And we are live with Facebook as well. Facebook, you have a rather weird view there with a few bit of cameras and tech and stuff. But anyway, welcome to the inner workings of the Gorgon's Loch live stream. I'm just going to restart my chat computer over there, and then I can see if anyone's come to join us. And then we shall begin. Oh, yo, Ghost is straight in, look. I'm here, hope it works again. Yeah, fingers crossed, Ghost. So, as ever, we're going to take the box off, take the top of the box, and then I'm going to go straight in with a single D6. I'm going to go straight to the campaign booklet. I'm going to roll 1d6, and we're going to work out what we're playing today. So, I hope you're all having a good day so far. I've been racing around in the garden with my dog this morning, and doing lots of publisher-related stuff. Very boring publisher-related stuff, I might add. It's all kind of finance and royalties and calculations and stuff at this time of year, so there's nothing that exciting to report, I'm afraid. However, we are 55% funded at the moment, which is pretty exciting. So we've got 45% to go and just over a week to do it, 8 days. Now, there's always a little flurry at the end. There are over 500 people who have hit the notify me when this project's nearly over button, which is an amazing amount of people. So 177 of you legendary adventurers have got us this far, and hopefully a decent chunk of that 500 will get us over the line when the day comes. So I'm going to enjoy playing the game for you, and I hope you're going to enjoy watching me do it. So without further ado, single D6, let's find out what we're playing today. Ooh, it's one of the later ones, okay. It's the penultimate dungeon. And the penultimate dungeon is Tipping the Balance. Special items are the Gorgon Scale. You could possibly see that there. In fact, it might be better for me to do it that way. Look, there we go. So there's the Gorgon Scale. To complete this dungeon, you must find and satisfy the Gorgon Scale, one of many simple yet effective methods by which the Gorgon Queen has amassed her great wealth. The exit mechanism to which it is attached will not operate until the scale is perfectly balanced and contains a total of at least 100 gold pieces of wealth across both pans of the scale. To succeed, you will need to locate the Gorgon Scale and place upon it a total of at least 100 gold pieces worth of goods, perfectly balanced. Now, the authentic run-through of this, we have 1 Gorgon Scale tile. We also have 6 goblins, 12 skeletons, 4 skeletal bowmen, 6 wild hounds, 4 harpies, and 2 lichen hall walkers. So the only 2 enemy types that are missing are the Gorgon Queen herself and the Gorgon Queen's guard. But I'm going to go ahead and throw them into the mix anyway. So for this one, it's not going to be an authentic run-through. We're going to throw the Gorgon Queen and her guards into the mix as well. And now we need to find out how many adventurers are going to attempt this. So, how many adventurers of our 5? How many do we think, guys? Oh, hi, Penny. Mum's joined us as well. Mama Penny in the chat. I'm going to have to move to my phone so I won't be able to chat. But hello before I make the switch. Okay, yeah, hi. Thanks for joining us, Penny. Much appreciated, Mum. Right, here we go. How many adventurers are going to help us? 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. And if I roll a 6, we'll re-roll. Yost going for all 5. He wants me busy. Oh, it's 4. Okay, we've got 4 of our 5 adventurers. That's fine. We don't mind 4 out of 5. That's not bad. So I'll get the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 adventurers cards there and ready. And next we're going to set up this map. Now this is quite a large map, so it might take a little bit longer than normal to set up, but that's all good. We can all have a chat in. We'll have a chat in chat while we're waiting. How's the weather over there, Ghost? You're East Coast US, aren't you? I'll be chatting to some of your fellow Americans shortly. In fact, on Saturday at 5 PM GMT. So midday for you guys. Sunny and chilly. It's kind of the same here. It's chilly out there, but it is actually quite bright and blowy, which is good. There's the Gorgon Scale. There we are. So we're going to need that later. We need lots of these floor connectors. By the way, anyone watching this for the first time and sees this kind of messy box and all these piles of stuff, of course the retail and Kickstarter version will have an insert. I've already been approached by a couple of people who are experts at designing inserts that are outside of our manufacturers, but also all of our manufacturers and all the quotations that we've got do include a super neat and space efficient insert for all this stuff. So if you do get your game, you're not going to be getting this huge great pile of stuff to untangle every time you want to play like I'm doing. Why haven't I set it all up so it's lovely and nice and neat, I hear you ask? Well, because mainly I want it to be an honest run through of what the game's like. So, you know, maybe you'll have to pack away in a hurry, maybe you'll be doing this exact same thing with your copy, and I want you to know that, you know, even if it's a total mess and it's all mixed up, you can still get the map set up and get playing within just a matter of minutes. So there are the 5 characters. We'll decide which 4 we're going to play with shortly. So now we're just going to go to the map and we're going to get the map pieces set up. So in order to make sure I get it all on camera, you just have to bear with me for a second. We've got, so the Great Hall's going there and it's that way. The kitchens are attached to it and are that way. There we go. Then we've got chamber number 3. Chamber number 3 goes that away. And again, that attaches right on the last one. So it is quite a big map, this one. I may have to move all this stuff just so I've got enough space to play around. The play area, yeah, Anne-Marie's just mentioned in the chat that the play area looks a little different. Yes, there is a bit more sun, so it's a bit of a crisper playthrough. And also, the camera is currently at that side, and it's normally from this side. You guys are normally looking in on the dungeon this way. So, yeah. Game trays are awesome. They are indeed awesome. I agree wholeheartedly with that. Okay, so we've got chamber 3, that's there. And then we've got corridor number 3. Yes, we're going to have to move down the table a little bit. Corridor 3, where are you? Corridor 4, corridor 2. There we go, corridor 3. So corridor 3 doesn't have any spawn points in it. And attaches there. So what we'll do is we'll move the whole shebang down a little bit. And after there we've got the vestry and another corridor, so I'll get that set as well. The vestry's that way and the corridor is that way, so we know we've got those to add to the width of the game. So there we are, that's looking pretty good. Yeah, there the vestry is half and half. We have a corridor at the end. Is that corridor going to fit on camera? It is not quite, but we've got plenty of real estate to come in this direction, so fear not, adventurers. Yeah, this is a slight downside of not planning and plotting everything out before I go live, in that you see exactly what it's like when trying to set up a gaming table. But that's fine. We all do that, don't we? Well, all us gamers, we all do that. We all have to wrestle away with our stuff, so we're all good. So yes, that goes there, that fits on the bottom, and that claps at the top. So ideally, we now want to pull everything this way, which I can do. It's not a problem. So I think I'll go for about there. That keeps everything on camera. There we go. Attaches here. This attaches here. This on the end. Penny, hi Ghost, hope you're doing well today. We've had a bit of a click fest on Kick Track this morning, but hello and goodbye. I'm transferring to my phone so I can keep up, but won't be able to comment yet. That's Mama Penny just saying hi there, Ghost. Be lurking away in the background, no doubt. And finally, corridor 1 attaches. It's to the second one there. There we go. So got some slight alignment issues here, but I'll be right with you. Beautiful. There we are. So So the game is afoot. Now we just need to attach the lava bridges so we can move from one section to another. The kitchens this time are split across the top there. There. Oops. I thought about getting a piece of green baize, you know, like you get on a snooker table, and using that to connect everything together. Is that attached to the set? That's attached to the second one there. Okay, that's great. And there, and finally there. So this is one of our circular dungeons. You can race around in circuits if you want to. Makes for some quite fun times sometimes, especially when you're being chased by some high-level enemies. And finally, we just need to place the Gorgon's scale. The Gorgon scale sits here, directly in the centre of the Great Hall. So I'll pop that booklet away for a moment. I've got a bit of space here for our characters. I think I'll be spawning all the enemies up here because there's plenty of space for them. And without further ado, I think we can go for it. So let's work out how many of our which 4 of our 5 enemies we're going to be using today. So we've got Magnus, Julius, Erin, Norlessa and Ragnar. I'll tell you what, let's pop them on. Let's pop them here just while we're choosing them, huh? Need to invent something we can put down that holds the pieces but doesn't leave anything sticky on the tiles. Yeah, and that's why I thought about initially about the green baize, but again, it's still pretty slippery. There are these silicon mats that they're designed for, you know, things like putting underneath your microwave on the kitchen side and stuff. And I was looking at that. The game mats are pretty good, but you know, by their very nature, they are designed to allow stuff to slide around on them, like, for example, cards or moving pieces and this sort of thing. And as a result, they're not great for kind of holding everything still. But again, once the dungeon's set up, all you're doing really is moving standees around on it. So it's not so bad once it's set up. But just in that initial setup phase, it'd be nice to be able to put one on the floor and just kind of connect it. Anne-Marie says, would a level up do the job, or is that not what it does? The level up is an amazing piece of engineering by our friends at Spider-Mind Games. If you are sitting around a table and you're having some drinks and some snacks and somebody says, hey, do you want to play the Gorgon's Loch? You can literally put this thing directly over the top of a table full of drinks and stuff and play the game straight away. So you don't need to clear the table before you play a game. Also, it allows you to do all your card management underneath the table and place all the tiles on top. And it's totally modular as well, so you can go ahead and buy these huge, vast, great versions of it. And it all kind of packs away into this lovely little packaging pouch. And they raised over $1 million on Kickstarter. So congratulations to Spider-Mind Games, to John and Oliver. John Lunn and Oliver Hume are I think the 2 main guys at Spider-Mind Games. Apologies if I'm leaving any of the team out. But yeah, they absolutely smashed the Kickstarter. And deservedly so. I think their tagline was something like, why has nobody thought of this before? And it's right. It's right. It's a really good idea. Okay, so without further ado, let us work out which 4 of these 5 heroes here we go. Our first hero is Norlessa Thundershack. Our second hero is... Oh, that's a 6, so we're going to re-roll. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ragnar Agathorn. So the Viking joins the party again. Good. Oops, just throwing a dice off the table. 3, 1, 2, 3. Julius Farcleaver. Welcome to the party. And finally, 4. It's going to re-roll. We're just going to keep re-rolling until we roll either a 1 or a 2. Oh, no, we'll do it like we did last time. Odds, Erin Bloodborne. Evens, Magnus Underhill. And it's Magnus. Odds and evens. Sorry, it's Erin Bloodborne. Huzzah! So, my favourite character joins the crew. Magnus, you can sit this one out, pal. Thanks very much for your previous service. Right. So, the best place to put the heroes, I think, is in the centre. Is it in the centre, do you think? Not really. There's not really enough room for shopping. So, I'll do them here. So, you've got Norlessa, Erin, Ragnar and Julius. I think it was Norlessa, then Ragnar, then Julius, then Erin in the order they were chosen. So that's the order they're going to play. All right. And And we just need standees in the start vestry and we can go. So we've got Norlessa, got Ragnar. Well, let me put them that way so the cameras can catch them, huh? We've got Julius Farcleaver, there's Julius. And we've got Erin Bloodborne. Right, lovely. So without further ado, let's get some play counters on the job. 4 of those, each of our heroes. And make up a little space here. It's still a bit messy from the last person to play, to be honest. I need to have a word with that last person, the last messy player. It was, of course, me, but still. That's the good thing about having an insert, of course. You know, if you are a little bit OCD about keeping your games in good order, then that's a great way of doing it. And as previously mentioned about our standees, we're going to be about our inserts. Sorry, we're going to be creating a very, very spatially efficient insert for the box to leave plenty of room on top for our expansion packs and stuff, because we don't think there's any point in having this vast, great insert that looks beautiful and holds everything to the top of the box, and then having this huge, great gap underneath. I mean, what's the point? What's the point? So, right, okay, without further ado, let us begin with Norlessa Thundershack. So Norlessa is going to roll for her start health points. 7, not bad, Norlessa, not bad. Now she's going to roll for her action points for this turn. 6. What are you going to do with your 6, Norlessa? Well, I think straight into the action. So Norlessa is going to go straight down here. Where are you, Norlessa? There we are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that'll do. Next we have Ragnar Agathorn rolling for his start health points. 10. There you go, Ragnar. Awesome. 10 health points. He's rolling for his action points now. 6 again. So I think I'm probably going to split the group. So Ragnar can go with Norlessa. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And with his remaining action point, he's going to do a search, which requires me to give the search pile a good shuffle. Oh, you saw that, did you, Ghost? Yeah, the Level Up campaign was massive, man. Yeah, they had about, I think, a 9 or 10 month run up to it, and then they absolutely smashed it. I think the thing was fully funded in something like 2 hours or something. It was, yeah, amazing, and they totally deserve it. Those guys, they've had a bit of hassle here and there with their previous Kickstarter campaigns, and they heartily deserved to be extremely successful, and they were. I'll shuffle the enemy pile while I'm at it. Don't forget that Ragnar's got his one search to do before we move on to Julius's turn. So yes, this is every enemy, including the Gorgon Queen in here. So we could pull her out at any moment. Super exciting. Right, so Ragnar's search is a small health vial. And shopping is going to be an issue, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to move everyone's counter up so we've got a little bit of space for shopping. So this is Ragnar's shopping. There we are. Now we are rolling for Julius Farcleaver's start health, which is 10 again. Good. I've got some good starting health this time round. And action points. 7. 7 action points. Okay, so I think we're going to split the team now. So Julius Farcleaver is going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we are. And finally, we'll go for the starting health points for Erin Bloodborne. 6. Not great, Erin. Not great. You could do with a health potion or 3. And action points. 6. Okay. So Erin, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is going around this side of the dungeon with Julius, and Ragnar and Norlessa are heading around this side, and they're both hopefully going to converge on the Gorgon Queen's Gorgon scale to place our 100 gold pieces worth of treasure on it. So that's the end of the player turn. There's no enemies on the field, so let us begin again with nor lesser Thundershack. In chat, Ghost says it looked a little wonky. What, the level up? No, not a bit of it, man. Not a bit of it. Once you click all the pieces together, it is quite flimsy until they get clicked together. That's the mark of good engineering. It's made of very lightweight, very strong materials. But once you click it together, it's super strong. And then once you've flip it over, you can see that there's a variety of different places where you can screw the legs in. And importantly, the legs themselves, not only are they hard, well-engineered, strong metal, but the little things that are glued into the plastic square pieces are also metal as well. So you don't get that thing of the metal, the metal screws, the metal threads kind of slowly degrading the thread over time, you know, in the other end where it's received. So there's a variety of different ways you can put these legs. You can buy extra packs of legs, and one of the more famed videos is of Oliver Hume putting a variety of things on it, including his cat, and you'll be delighted to know that it was fine. But yeah, like all lightweight, exquisite engineering, it looks kind of wobbly and flimsy until you click it together, and as soon as it clicks together, rock solid, absolutely rock solid. Right, cool. So we are now rolling 4 nor lesser Thundershack's action points, and she's got 8 of them. So I don't think there's any real need to start collecting treasure too voraciously yet, but we're going to need to nearer the end. So I think with these 8, let's have a look. Yeah, I think she will have a search. First search is a gold piece, a little treasure pile there. Second search is the Scroll of Protection, that's good, 1 extra dice in defence. Third is a Scroll of Power, that's also good, that's 1 extra dice in attack. And fourth is the Scroll of Death, blimey, okay. So nor lesser is all ready for the Queen. She has 4 remaining, 1, 2, 3, and she's going to go here 4, as opposed to standing on the lava bridge and populating this room with enemies yet. So that's nor lesser's 8 action points. Now we're going to run to Ragnar. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll get Ragnar. We'll leave Ragnar with 3. And we're going to populate up to 4 enemies. Yep, that's all 4, and they are. So we start spewing the enemies into the loch, and they are. Can you see that? Can you see the first enemy that I've just pulled? Facebook and Twitch. The Gorgon Queen! You'll notice that I haven't added any death markers here. All 4 of our adventurers are essentially mortal. If they die, they stay dead. So this is exciting. The first enemy is the Gorgon Queen herself, the most powerful enemy in the dungeon, and she arrives right here on spawn point number 1. The second enemy is one of her guard. Now these are enemies that I decided to add at the last minute, if you remember. On to spawn point 2. The third enemy is Skeletal Bowman number 2. So at least we have a slightly lower powered enemy. Goes on to spawn point 3. And finally, Goblin number 6. Okay. So, oh, look at the little goblin next to that queenie. But that's quite a formidable battle line right there. Okay, so let's get some heart counters. We're going to need quite a few. Queen has 8 health points. She also has a movement of 8. So she is a formidable beast to be facing as the very first enemy of the dungeon. And again, just running through the standard boxed games gives us an extremely different start every single time, it seems. Queen's Guard has 3 health. Skeletal Bowman just the 1. And Goblin number 6 just the 1. The Bowman and the Skeleton both defend with a single d6. The Queen's Guard defends with 2d6. The Gorgon Queen defends with 3d6, so she's extremely hard to kill. Ragnar has 3 action points left. And there's not a lot Ragnar can do with those 3 action points beyond either sacrifice himself or throw nor lesser to the wolves so that he can do a couple of searches. So I think he's probably going to do that. So he's going to step back out of the room and he's going to attempt 2 searches, hopefully not pulling enemies. Very first thing he pulls is a swinging blade trap. So we're going to roll 1d6, 1, 2 or 3, he's unharmed, 4, 5 or 6, lose a health point. Yep, loses a health point, Ragnar. His 10 becomes 9. And his final action point for his final search is a medium health vial. That might come in. There we are. Right. So now it is the turn of Julius Farcleaver. Julius is up here. 8. 1, 2, 3. We'll leave Julius with 5 action points. And we now need to roll 1d6 to determine whether it's 1 or 2 enemies. And that 6 means that it's both of them. So the 2 enemies here are Harpy number 2, another powerful enemy, and Goblin number 3, a not so powerful enemy. So Harpy number 2 goes here, Goblin number 3 goes here. Harpy number 2 has 3 health points. And Goblin number 3 has 1. There we go. Right, 5 action points remaining. I think Julius is going to take 1 step into the room here, leaving them with 4. Attack the Goblin, 7 or above, and it's an insta-kill. 6, the Goblin can survive if it throws a 6. Which it does not. So farewell, Goblin number 3. You go to the bottom of the pile. I'd say pushing the Queen to the top of the pile, but she was sitting on top of the pile after a good shuffle as well. So 4 remaining. Not a lot you can do with 4 action points really, Julius. Now then, Julius's specialist skill is luck, allowing them to go all the way through this pile and find a single card and then give it a good shuffle and put it back. And keep that single card. So with 1 of those remaining action points, let's try and activate Julius's special skill, double 6. 4 and a 2, no. So 3 remaining, so they're going to go 1, 2 to find themselves in an enemy-free corridor and have a single search. And the single search is an empty scroll, so Julius's treasure pile gets a little bigger, but no magical scrolls or anything else to help, unfortunately. Okay. Need to roll all these action points down to 0. Good housekeeping and all that. So now it's the turn of my favourite character, Erin Bloodborne. What's Erin going to do? And after we've done that, we'll have a little look in chat. Erin is rolling for action points, and she has 8 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So she's got 3 action points remaining. She's going to attempt to activate her specialist skill, which is teleport, and fails. She's got 2 remaining, so she's going to take 1 step back, and she's going to search. And she finds the Scroll of Anger, which is 1 extra dice in attack, should she require it. Obviously that's a use want, and then back to the bottom of the pile. Let's have a look. My head and tooth are killing me. Oh, poor ghost. Oh, you've got a date for the root canal. But 28, that's a long way away, man. That's a long way away. That's a whole week away, dude. And you started buffering again as well. Sorry, Ghost. Your darn internet, man. Your darn internet is terrible. I don't know who your provider is, but if you have an opportunity, please do name and shame them in the chat. Yes, it looks like we may have lost Ghost, but thanks again for joining us. I appreciate it. I'm sorry your root canal and stuff are so far away. A week's going to be a long time requiring root canal work. So look, just settle down and do your best, and I hope you manage to kind of manage your pain and stuff between now and then, buddy. All right, where are we? We've just finished the adventurer's turn. It is now the turn of the enemy, and the first enemy, of course, is the Gorgon Queen. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of her 8 movement is all she needs to get all up close and personal with Norlessa Thundershack. Norlessa is about to be attacked by the Gorgon Queen. Now then, Norlessa, do you have any special scrolls that could help? You do! You got the Scroll of Protection. So the Scroll of Protection is definitely going to help. Okay, so as you can see, that's 12. Norlessa would normally defend with 2d6, which is obviously can roll a maximum of 12. So she is going to use her Scroll of Protection in her defence. So the Scroll of Protection goes to the bottom of the pile, but she defends with 3d6. So she's defending against 12. And she scores exactly 12, so I'm really glad she used that Scroll of Protection. Well done, Norlessa. You have survived the onslaught of the Gorgon Queen. Now what happens? Well, the next enemy spawned was the Queen's Guard, and although the Queen's Guard's got a movement of 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is as close as it can get to our heroes, because the Queen is actually clogging the doorway. Happy days. The Skeletal Bowman can't see any of our heroes, so we'll simply use its movement to get a little closer. 1, 2, 3. I would argue it still can't see our heroes. There's a Gorgon Queen and a Queen's Guard in the doorway, so it still can't see them. And Plucky Goblin number 6 has a movement of 2, so he's going to drift 2 squares toward our heroes. Now we move to the Harpy. The Harpy has an enemy movement of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's much closer to our heroes, but it can't actually attack them, and that is the end. So now we come straight away to Norlessa Thundershack, who is toe-to-toe with the Gorgon Queen and happens to own a Scroll of Death. So I think we know what Norlessa's going to do. She's got 6 action points to do it. So she's going to mark 5 and rather unceremoniously kill the Gorgon Queen. Farewell, madam. Thank you for joining us. So just like that, the Gorgon Queen disappears to the bottom of the pile. Hopefully never to be seen again, but you never know. There's only 40 enemies, so she could be cycled back round. All 8 of her health points back in the pot. Norlessa has 5 action points. She's going to use one of those action points to move up on the Queen's Guard. And she's going to attack with 3. The Queen's Guard defends with 5. It's fine. She's going to attack again for the second time. 8. The Queen's Guard defends. With 9, okay. Her third attack. It's more like it. 10. The Queen's Guard defends. With 10. Look at it go. And the fourth attack on the Queen's Guard is 11. And the Queen's Guard defends. With 7. The difference is 4. A Queen's Guard only has 3 health points. Norlessa Thundershack not only kills the Queen, but kills the Queen's Guard as well. What a hero. What a legend. Well done, Norlessa. That's all of your action points used. Farewell, Queen's Guard. We are moving on to Ragnar Agathorn for action points. 3. Ragnar, you are not pulling your weight, sir. 3 isn't enough to even get close enough to the Skeletal Bowman. So Ragnar's going to have to search. First search yields an enemy. And he deserves that for rolling a 3. So Ragnar Agathorn now has 2 action points remaining and faces toe-to-toe with Skeletal Bowman number 3, who he will hopefully destroy straight away. So he's got 2 action points remaining. So he's going to attack the Skeletal Bowman, 7 or above. I know, right? Hi, White Rose Dragon. Thanks for joining us. And a happy birthday for yesterday. How I missed it, I have no idea. White Rose Dragon's birthday was yesterday. He's something, I don't know, like 17 or 39 or 106 or something. I can't remember. But, yeah, happy birthday for yesterday, man. Thanks for joining us. 7 or above is an insta-kill on this Skeletal Bowman. And it's gone. Farewell, Skeletal Bowman number 3. A single action point remaining for Ragnar. He's going to roll the dice, quite literally, and have a search, which isn't what he's doing quite literally, because you don't roll the dice to search. Silly Dan. A large health file. Good stuff. So Ragnar has lots and lots of health. That's ace. Now it is the turn of Julius Farcleaver. So Julius is up here, hopefully going to get enough action points to take out this Harpy. 5. 1, 2, 3. Will leave Julius with 2 action points to attempt to kill this Harpy. So Julius is attacking. Oh, with 10, it's good. The Harpy defends. With 7, the difference is 3. It's got 3 health points. It's all that was needed and no more. So well done, Julius, for taking out Harpy number 2. You're now in an enemy-free room. You've got a single action point left, so you're going to have a search. And it's a medium health vial, a well-deserved one for Julius Farcleaver. What's that in chat? Thanks. I'm guessing Norlessa killed the Queen in revenge. She certainly did, White Rose Dragon. Penny mentioned that actually when we were when she was interviewing me for the Ask Me Anything bit we did a couple of updates ago. It's amazing how many times just the random dice-driven gameplay takes on the characteristics of the narrative. The amount of times that the dwarf ends up completely piled down with treasure. The amount of times that the Viking finds themselves completely surrounded by enemies, being the berserker over at the other end of the dungeon. It's exciting, man. Okay, so that was Julius's turn. Now it's Erin Bloodborne. Erin hasn't got a lot to do. There's no enemies here, so Erin's going to roll for action points. She's got 7 of them, so she's going to simply move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's the end of the player turn. There are enemies on the board, so now it's the enemy's turn. Skeletal Bowman number 2 is going to attack Norlessa Thundershack because they can see her. It attacks with 2d6. 7. Norlessa defends. With 10, she's fine. And Little Goblin number 6 continues its slow motion rage towards our heroes, but can't quite make it. We begin our character's turn. Oh, just to bring you up to speed, White Rose Dragon, because you just joined us. This is the 5th dungeon of the 6 that comes with a base box, and we all start here. It's one of our circular dungeons, and I've decided to split the party of 4 because we rolled randomly and decided that there were 4 heroes, so we've got in 2 bands of 2. We're going to work our way through to here. This is the Gorgon scale at the end here, and in order to complete this dungeon you need to place at least 100 gold pieces worth of treasure on it, and when it's perfectly balanced across both pans, then we read the win condition for the scenario. So we're not quite there yet. A few enemies on the board, and we're all up at this end of the dungeon. We need to be down that end. But yeah, there we are. So that's the enemy turn completed. Now we're going to go for character turn, and Norlessa Thundershack begins. And Norlessa has 9 action points. Okay, so she's going to move 1, 2 to get herself within attacking distance of both of the enemies, leaving her with 7. She's going to attack the Skeletal Bowman. 7 or above is an insta-kill. Oh, that's rubbish. It defends with a single d6, defending against 3. Oh, it's dead! Blimey, it was weak. Weak, weak, weak. Okay, so there goes Skeletal Bowman number 2. Single enemy left on the board now. The brave little goblin number 6, who again, Norlessa is going to attack. 7 or above is an insta-kill. Yes, off he goes. So farewell, goblin number 6. We're now in an enemy-free dungeon once more. So with Norlessa's remaining 5 action points, she's going to have a search. Finds a scroll of immunity. A search. She finds a scroll of defense. You did see me shuffle these guys, right? 3rd search. Another scroll. She's got both scrolls of death. No, she hasn't. She only has 1 scroll of death because I forgot to take this one out of her thing and put it to the bottom of the pile. I shall do that now. Apologies. She killed the Queen with the other scroll of death. So she's had 3 searches, leaving her with 2 action points. She's going to search once more and finds an enemy, of course. And that enemy is Goblin number 1. Yes, Goblin number 1 arrives straight in front of Norlessa. And with her final action point, she's going to attack it. 7 or above is an insta-kill. Oh, it's a 6. It can survive, but only if it rolls a 6. Good luck. Goblin number 1. Nope, I'm afraid not. So Goblin number 1 disappears to the bottom of the enemy pile. And that is Norlessa's turn over. Now we move on to Ragnar Agathorn, who hopefully will get enough action points to join Norlessa in the room. He does. 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then a danger search at the end. 6, an empty scroll. Okay, Ragnar, well, you survived your danger roll. Well done. Now we're moving on to Julius Farcleaver, who is here. Julius rolls snake eyes, so he's going to search. An empty scroll and another search. the Boots of Haste, giving Julius an optional 3 squares movement without using their allotted action points, meaning that they're going to do that right now. 1, 2, 3. That's Julius's turn. On to Erin Bloodborne. Come on, Erin, let's do this. Oh, Erin has 4 action points. That's really not enough. She can populate this corridor with enemies, which is what she's going to do, but that's all she can do. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's 3 spawn points in that corridor. We're going to roll 1d6, and we'll work out whether we've got 1, 2, or 3 enemies coming. And that 6, being more than the maximum, means that we have all 3. And they are Harpy number 1, powerful enemy. Lycan Hallwalker number 2, a very powerful enemy. And Queen's Guard number 4. So what was looking like a walkthrough for our adventurers has now turned into quite the heavy battle. Don't forget that our adventurers for this particular scenario are essentially mortal. If they are killed, it's all over for them. The win condition for this dungeon is to make it to here with 100 gold pieces worth of treasure and place that 100 gold pieces in the 2 trays, an exactly equal amount in each tray. So you can do it with 100 gold pieces, but if you can't split it exactly into 250s, then you need to pop a little more. Yeah, indeed, White Rose Dragon. I was not expecting such powerful enemies to turn up here. So Harpy number 1 arrives. Lycan Hallwalker number 2 arrives. And Queen's Guard number 4 arrives. Now, as far as I'm aware, Erin has completely run out of action points now. That's Erin's turn, so now it's the enemy turn straight away. So Harpy number 1 is going to do the damage, I think, because it's got a movement of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and can get toe-to-toe with our hero Erin. That might not be as savage as it looks, because they're in a corridor, and although enemies can pass through enemies and characters can pass through characters, enemies can't pass through characters, characters can't pass through enemies, and there has to be a clear square where you're passing through someone. So the fact that this Harpy is about to attack Erin stops the Lycan Hallwalker and the Queen's Guard attacking her this turn. Let's do this. That's the attack from the Harpy. 4. Not bad. Yeah. Erin saw them coming. She's absolutely fine. That's my girl. Okay, so now we've got the Lycan Hallwalker, which is going to drift and rather frustratedly growl away at the shoulder of the Harpy, but it can't get to our heroes, and the Queen's Guard is going to do exactly the same. So that's the enemy turn over. I'm going to move back to Norlessa Thundershack down here. Norlessa has heard some growling from the other side of the dungeon, wants to know what's going on, and she's going to roll loads of action points. That's my guess. 7, not so bad. So she is going to use them just to rage through the dungeon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. She can't quite spawn this one enemy yet, but she probably will next turn. Now we're going to go for Ragnar Agathorn. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Leaves Ragnar with 2 action points. He spawns an enemy directly in the centre of this room. We don't need to roll for it because there's only 1 spawn point, so whatever you roll is going to be 1 or more. And that's skeleton number 1. Now Ragnar has 2 action points left. He's going to move in and attack. Skeleton number 1 has 2 health points, so the insta-kill needs to be 8 or above. Here comes Ragnar's attack. 6. If the skeleton rolls a 4 or above, a 5 or above, it survives. But it rolls a 2. So farewell, skeleton number 1. We barely knew thee. And that's Ragnar Agathorn's turn over. Julius Farcleaver is next. Julius can't do anything in regard to helping out Erin, and has 6 action points and is actually still in an enemy-free room. So dear Julius is going to Julius is going to have a search, find a medium health vial, it's with 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, with their 5th and fourth final action point after doing the search. She's going to pass Erin a medium health vial. Okay, so that's Julius's turn over. Now it's Erin's turn. Erin's rolling for action points. 9 action points. That's enough to get into some action here. So, with those 9 action points, the first thing she's going to do is take the medium health vial, bumping up her health from 6 to 8. Now she's got 8 action points remaining. She's going to attack the harpy in front of her. That's the first attack. For 8, the harpy defends. With 4, it's dead straight away. Boom. Okay, so there goes harpy number 1. Right, it's going to get interesting now because we now have 3 attacks left, 7 action points. So Erin is going to take a single step toward the Lichen Hall Walker and is going to use the Scroll of Anger, which again costs an action point to use, to make her second attack of her allowed 4 on the Lichen Hall Walker. So she's attacking this time with 3 dice and scores 10. Not bad, not great. The Lichen Hall Walker defends with 3 dice. 11. It's fine. Okay, so now Erin is down to normal attacks. She's got 4 action points remaining, but she's only allowed another 2 attacks. 7. Lichen Hall Walker defends. More than 7. Her last allowed attack, which will leave her with 2 action points, is... oh dear, 4. Lichen Hall Walker defends. Oh, it's not massive, but they did defend. And now, with 2 action points remaining... Erin is going to attempt to activate her specialist skill, which is teleport, for a double 6. Very close, but no cigar. And with her final, all she can do, because you have to use your action points if you can, all she can do is move back, which gives the Lichen Hall Walker a bit of a run-up. Okay, that's Erin. I fear the worst, but let's see. It's now the enemy turn. Lichen Hall Walker goes first, steps up on Erin Bloodborne and attacks her with 3d6. It's pretty big, it's 12. Erin defends. With 6, she takes a massive 6 hit. Her 8 health becomes 2. If she hadn't have been given by Julius the medium health vial and took it in her last turn, she would now be dead. So that was a good decision. Okay, the Queen's Guard cannot attack. It's clogged into the corridor again. So that's the end of the enemy turn. And back we go to Norlessa Thundershack. Norlessa is coming. 6 action points, Norlessa. 1, 2, 3, 4. Leaving you with 2 action points. The enemy in the centre of that room is Queen's Guard number 3. A pretty powerful enemy, actually. You've got 2 action points left. What are you going to do with them, Norlessa? Norlessa is going to take 1 step. No, she can't. She was going to take 1 step and use the Scroll of Power, but of course it takes 1 action point to use a scroll and 1 action point to then attack. She's only got 2 action points remaining. Norlessa is going to, she may regret this, but Norlessa is going to use the Scroll of Death to kill this member of the Queen's Guard. And she's going to take 1 step into the room, so we don't need to populate it with enemies anymore. That was Queen's Guard number 3. So now Norlessa has a clear run into the final room where the Gorgon scale is. However, She's lost her Scroll of Death, which would have been useful for the Lycan Hall Walker. However, she's at the wrong end of the dungeon for all that. So let's, the decision's been made. Let's move on. Ragnar. Ragnar's rolling for action points and has 7 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll leave Ragnar with a single action point. Now let's roll 1d6 and find out how many enemies are in this final room here. Could be up to 6. And predictably, that's precisely what it is. So we've got 6 enemies coming, so I'll just make a little room here. The Lycan Hall Walker goes over there as it was spawned first, and the Queen's Guard number 4 because it was spawned after, and now we've got 6 enemies coming. Wild Hound number 1, Wild Hound number 3, Skeleton number 8, Skeleton number 2, Skeleton number 9, and Skeleton number 7. So they're not hugely powerful enemies, but they can be persistent, particularly in groups, because of course they all attack their nearest player character one after the other. The skeletons have 2 health points and a movement of 3. The Wild Hounds have 1 health point but a movement of 5. All defend with a single d6, all attack with 2d6. So, Wild Hound number 4 was spawned first. Wild Hound number 3 spawned after. Skeleton number 8 spawned third. Skeleton number 2 was spawned 4th. Skeleton number 9 was spawned 5th. And skeleton number 7 was spawned 6th. There we go. So, Ragnar Agathorn has a single action point remaining. Ragnar has nothing to use at range. But what he does have is a large health vial, which will restore 3 health points, which will take his 9 up to the maximum of 12. So that's Ragnar's turn over. Got 12 health points. Ready for action next round. Now we're on to Julius Farcleaver. Julius again can do nothing here because Erin didn't use her last action point to get out of the way. So yeah, Julius finds himself in a bit of bother here. So let's see how many action points Julius has got and what they can do with them. 7. Lots of searching, I hope. Eramor's bow. It's a good, powerful weapon, but he can't see any of the enemies yet. Eramor's bow is there all the same. Second search, the black key. Good treasure. Third search, a small health vial. And fourth search, a small health vial. Good stuff. So that's 4 of the 7. 5, 6, and attempt to activate his specialist skill. Double 6. Nope, and that's it. Not going to bother using the Boots of Haste this time. So now it is the turn of Erin Bloodborne. Erin. 8 action points. Erin's got 2 health points here. And yet Julius has 10. So I think with those 8, we're going to do 1, 2, 3 to run away, leaving Erin with 5. Have a search. Medium health vial. Take that, leaving you with 3 action points, but 4 health as opposed to 2. With these 3 action points, what are you going to do with the 3? Yeah, I think search again. Bilton's Brew, and take that. We'll leave you with a single action point. And with that single action point, you are going to just hide behind Julius Farcleaver. Julius Farcleaver is doing a little better than Erin. Julius has got 10 health, so by strategically pulling back and drawing the enemies into this room, it's perhaps a mistake, because now the enemies are going to leave this corridor and it's going to need respawning. But at least it puts our most likely to die character out of harm's way, hopefully, for this next enemy turn. So that's the character turn over. Onto the enemies. First one spawned was the Lycan Hall Walker. 1, 2, 3 is all it needs of its 5 movement to attack Julius Farcleaver. Good luck, Julius. Here comes a 3d6 attack. 11. Julius has nothing to help. Defends his 11 with 6. The difference is 5. Julius's health is reduced from 10 to 5, but that attack definitely would have killed Erin. Next comes the Queen's Guard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It needs 5 of its 6 movement to get within attack, and it also attacks with 3d6. Ow, this is big. 13. 13. So Julius only has 5 health points. Julius has 5 health points, defending against 13. So if Julius rolls an 8, they're dead. So we need to roll 9, 10, 11 or 12, or Julius and all of this treasure is gone. 9, 10, 11 or 12. Let's do this. Yes! 11. There we are. So 11 defending against 13. Still loses 2 health points. Down to 3. But survives. Now it's to the enemy. All of these enemies that have just been spawned here, they're not interested in these two because these two are definitely closer. Out of these two, it's Ragnar Agathorn who is the closest, so that's what they're going to go for. The first one is Wildhound number 4, who's here. 1, 2, 3 is all it needs to attack Ragnar, and attacks with 2d6. 5, Ragnar defends with 5, just, but he's fine. Wildhound number 3 is over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It can't quite make it to our heroes this time. Skeleton number 8 has a movement of 3. 1, 2, 3, and can make it to Ragnar. Attacks with 2d6. It scores 7. Ragnar defends. And scores 9. So Ragnar's absolutely fine. The rest is immaterial from an attack standpoint because this corner's too clogged up now. So skeleton number 2 is going to use its movement. 1, 2, 3. Skeleton number 9 will use it. 1, 2, 3. And skeleton number 7 finally. 1, 2, 3. So Ragnar, the classic Viking, finds himself in a classic Viking situation with a whole horde of easily hackable enemies to get through. And that is the enemy turn. So we begin again with Norlessa Thundershak, who's at the back here. Norlessa can't get through. She cannot get through. So this is going to be a search-a-thon. Let's have a look. 9 action points. Okay. So she's going to search first. Finds a large health vial. Yep, second search. Bilton's Brew. Third search. A clay pot. And fourth search. Right Delirium. So an ethereal voice calls out your name from the shadows. Norlessa, Norlessa. Your vision blurs, confused and disorientated. Your turn ends. Now is the turn of Ragnar Agathorn, who hopefully will get a decent amount of action points so he can hack his way through some of these enemies. Let's see. Let's have a look what's going on in chat. White Rose Dragon, back in from the walk, chicken sorted, and we'll say that's a lot of enemies. Yeah, the moment you walked out, they all appeared, man. They must have been hiding from you. Ragnar action points. 7. It's not a lot, but it could be enough. Okay, Ragnar. The first thing you're going to do is attack skeleton number 8. You've got 7 action points, so that's down to 6. 8 or above, it's dead. There's the 8. It's dead. So goodbye, skeleton number 8. Where are you, skeleton number 8? There we are. Next attack is a Wildhound number 4. 7 or above is an insta-kill. But it's Snake Eyes. The Wildhound defends. If it rolls a 1, it's dead. Otherwise, it's fine. Predictably, it's fine. So Ragnar has to waste another attack on this Wildhound. Does so. Yep, it's dead. So there goes Wildhound number 4. Sorry, Pooch. Them's the way the dog biscuits crumble. Ragnar now has 4 action points and 2 potential attacks remaining. He's going to move here. That leaves him with 3 action points. He's going to attack skeleton number 9. 8 or more is an insta-kill. There it is. So skeleton number 9 bites the dust. This is brilliant. This is a Viking doing Viking things perfectly. I love it. Love it. 2 action points remaining. 1 attack remaining. I'm going to attack another skeleton. Skeleton number 2 this time. 8 or above. Insta-kill. Oh, it's 3. It's rubbish. So, if the skeleton rolls a 2 or above, it's fine. And it's fine. So, what Ragnar was going to do was attempt to activate his specialist skill. He's had all 4 attacks, so he can, because under the instant kill, if you roll a double 6 to activate it, of course, Ragnar is able to perform an instant kill on any one enemy in the 8 squares that surround him. The enemy should be removed from the board and its card placed on the bottom of the enemy pile. Does not count as one of the 4 allowed attacks per turn. So Ragnar, and indeed Norlessa, whose specialist skill is double kill, same mechanic, but she can remove 2 enemies in the 8 squares that surround her, does not count. So Ragnar and Norlessa actually have the equivalent of 5 attacks, one of them being a 1 in 36 chance, of course. So here we go. We are rolling. This is Ragnar's final action point, and we want a double 6. Nothing else will do. Double 6. Nope. Okay, so that's Ragnar's turn over. On to Julius Farcleaver now. Julius, you are in trouble. So, first of all, lots of action points, please, and we'll find out what you can do. Julius. 3 action points. That is rubbish, Julius. Rubbish. However, you do have the Boots of Haste. I think Julius has got too much treasure to risk. Is that a thing? Could be a thing. Let us see. 3 action points. I think Julius has got to attack the... Got to attack the Lycan Hall Walker. So Julius is going to attack the Lycan Hall Walker with 2. Scores 8. The Lycan Hall Walker defends. Wow. Scores 13. Second attack. 7. Second defence. 8. Only just. Third and final attack. 10. Lycan Hall Walker defends. 9. Okay, so Julius did manage to nibble 1 of the Lycan Hall Walker's 5 health points away. However, it's fine, and that's Julius's turn over. There's only Erin to go now. What can Erin do? What can Erin do? Not a lot with 3. So, with 3 action points, Erin is going to take some things from Julius, I think. Seems kind of heartless, but that's the dungeon. That's all treasure. There's 3 small health vials. So you can't, there isn't enough to take 3 off and then take 3. That would need 6. So, Erimor's bow is worth 30 gold pieces. The Boots of Haste are worth 10 gold pieces. And have you got any more good treasure there? The Black Key is worth 5 gold pieces. So Erin, rather cynically, although all trading in the Gorgon's Loch is consensual, but of course I'm looking after all 4 characters, so this is fine. Erin is going to remove the 3 most prized possessions from Julius Farcleaver, and that's her turn over. Now it's the enemy turn, and the Lycan Hall Walker's going first. And the Lycan Hall Walker is quite obviously already engaged in battle. Is going to attack Julius Farcleaver. Hey Marvin, thanks for joining us, man. Hi. So the Lycan Hall Walker is about to possibly kill our this time mortal characters. There is no death markers, there's no lives. If you're dead, you're dead. And the Lycan Hall Walker is about to attack Julius Farcleaver. Julius has 3 health points and only defends with 2d6. So if the Lycan Hall Walker is lucky enough to throw 15, it's an instant kill. Let's see. No, it's fine. 6. Julius defends. with 3. So rather realistically, given that Julius has 3 health points, dead. Julius Farcleaver is dead. Which means that all of Marvin, you've just turned up. You've just turned up just in time to see one of our to see one of our heroes be killed utterly to death until they're dead. So, you know, I'm not saying you're bad luck or anything, but farewell, Julius. Today was not your day. So Julius Farcleaver leaves the dungeon. All of Julius's treasure disappears to the bottom of the pile. We now have Norlessa, Ragnar and Erin remaining. And it's the turn of the Queen's Guard number 4, who of course is now going to go and attack Erin. Now Erin's only got 4 health points, and the Queen's Guard attacks with 3d6. Oops, I've just thrown a dice on the floor, excuse me. 5. It's definitely survivable. God, only just. Blimey. Okay, so Erin's fine. That's the Queen's Guards just attacked. So the next enemy that was spawned was skeleton number 2. So skeleton number 2 is now going to attack Ragnar Agathorn here. For 4, Ragnar defends. Yeah, with 8, he's fine. Next comes Wildhound number 3, who again is already engaged with Ragnar. Ooh, 9, that's more like it. Ragnar defends. With 9, he's fine. What a Viking hero, guys, seriously. And finally, skeleton number 7. Let's do this. 9, it's another big one. Ragnar defends. With 3. Ouch, Ragnar takes a 9-point hit. Sorry, a 6-point hit. So luckily his health was 12, so he's only reduced to 6. But that's still quite the hit. Blimey, skeleton number 7, you beast. That's the end of the enemy turn. Back we go to Norlessa Thundershaq, who is right here and needs to join the action and get this done. So here comes Norlessa. 11 action points. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'll just mark up Norlessa's action points and I'll have a look at chat. Right, so yeah, a lot more complex. This is one of the circular dungeons, Marvin, that comes with the Gorgon's Loch actually in the base game. The only difference here is there are 2 differences. I rolled 1d6 to find this campaign, and it was number 5, and then he's half dead. He is indeed. And then I rolled another d6 to determine how many heroes. That was 4. And then I laid them all out, and basically 1, 2, 3, 4, or a couple of re-rolls, and I just ran through them until we worked out exactly who was going to join us in the dungeon. We just lost as you arrived. We lost Julius Farcleaver. The other 3 heroes are Norlessa, Ragnar, and Erin. They're still alive, although some more alive than others. The point of this dungeon, this is called Tipping the Balance, and you start off here. You don't necessarily have to split the party, but we did. That could have been a mistake. You know, classic kind of horror stroke sci-fi movie. Split the party, I'm sure we'll be fine. So two went this way, 2 went this way. Unfortunately, we just lost one here due to a Lycan Hallwalker appearing. These guys have almost made it into the final room where the Gorgon Scale is. The Gorgon Scale needs 100 gold pieces at least worth of treasure placing on it, equally across 2 pans. So you can do it with 100 if you've got exactly 50 on each side. It costs 1 action point to put a single item onto each of the scales. So there's a bit of trading and stuff to happen at the end, but of course you need to clear out the enemies first, and that's what we're trying to do at the moment. So we're just about to start the character turn, and Norlessa has just rolled a rather useful 11 action points. So she's going to spend 1, 2, 3 of them to get within attack position. That leaves her with 8. And then she's going to attack the Wildhound in front of her. 7 or above is an insta-kill. And that's an insta-kill right there. So farewell to Wildhound number 3. Sorry about that, pooch. Wildhound number 3 bites the dust. Norlessa's second attack is going to be diagonally on skeleton number 2. And it's 6, so it is survivable if the skeleton rolls a 5 or a 6. But he rolls a 3, so he's dead. Wonderful. So 2 attacks left, 5 action points left. Goodbye, Skelly number 2. Marvin, there are 6 scenarios in the base game, and the first one starts with just skeletons and goblins, and then for the second one we introduce skeletal bowmen, and then as you move through the dungeon more and more complex enemies are added. So by the time you're doing the 5th and the 6th, there are all manner of nasties in here. So yeah, happy days. Right, so there goes, what have we got now? We've got, I've just destroyed skeleton number 2, haven't I? That's right. Hard to keep up with chat, so sorry about that. So now Norlessa has 2 attacks left, but she can't attack anyone yet, so she's just going to move 1 more square there, leaving her with 4 action points, and then she's going to leave herself with 3 action points and attack this final skeleton in the final run. 8 or above is an insta-kill. It's a 5. It is survivable. 4, 5 or 6, this skeleton survives. But it rolls a 2. Farewell, Skelly number 7. There we are. So with Norlessa's remaining 3 action points, she's going to move 1, 2. 1, 2. And then she's going to place, now let's have a look, what have we got here? Well, the Scroll of Immunity is worth 15 gold pieces. So she's going to place the Scroll of Immunity here on one side of the Gorgon's scale. So even if she's killed now, there's 15 gold pieces worth of treasure on one side of the Gorgon scale. Remember, we need to put at least 100 gold pieces worth on there, and it needs to be perfectly balanced. So that is Norlessa's turn over. I'm going to move on to Ragnar Agathorn. Ragnar's right behind her. Ragnar doesn't have a lot of treasure though, to be fair, although these health vials are worth some. Let's have a look. Ragnar Agathorn's action points. 10, that's plenty. Okay, so 1, 2. Leaving him with 8. And let me think. Now then, we've got... He's only got 6 health points, so I don't necessarily just want to give away the farm. You know what, we're going to use 2, and we're going to put a medium and a small health vial worth 10 and 5 gold pieces, respectively, on the other side of the Gorgon scale. That's going to cost him 2 action points to do. He's got 6 action points remaining now. There are 15 gold pieces on either side, so if in doubt, use sand. Yeah, well, I mean, we've got things like clay pots and this sort of thing, but no, this is about wealth. This is about worth as opposed to weight. So we've got 15 gold pieces on either side. The Gorgon scale is perfectly balanced, but it only has 30 gold pieces worth of stuff on it. That's not good enough. Norlessa's doing pretty good because she's got lots and lots of... well, she's got a couple of magical scrolls worth 10 gold pieces apiece. Bilton's brew and the large health vial is worth 15 apiece, so that could definitely get us quite close. Now Ragnar has 6 action points remaining, and he's going to use those 6 action points to have a search and find some more treasure. So the first search is a spider bite trap, unfortunately. Ragnar doesn't have a scroll of immunity to use if he fails this, so Ragnar is going to roll 1d6 to determine whether or not he is bitten. 1, 2 or 3, he's unharmed. 4, 5 or 6, lose a health point. He loses a health point, so he's got 5 action points left, also 5 health points left. Right, we're going to continue with the search. Second search. Oh dear. An enemy. So Ragnar has just pulled an enemy out with 4 action points remaining. Let us see. It's Harpy number 4. It's a powerful enemy. So Harpy number 4 appears in front of Ragnar. Ragnar engages it. And attacks with 8. The Harpy defends. Oh, it's low. Ah, perfect. Perfect. The difference is 5. Harpies only have 3 health. Farewell, Harpy number 4. Blimey. You came and went quick. Goodbye, Harpy number 4. Right, okay, Ragnar. You have found a spider bite. You found an enemy. You haven't yet found any treasure, which means that of your 3 action points, you've got a potential 2 searches left. Let's see. First search is a small health vial. And the final search is another small health vial. Okay, well, they're worth 5 gold pieces each, but with your final action point, he's going to just move back a little. There we are. So that's Ragnar's turn. Now on to Erin Bloodborne. Now Erin's in the thick of it here. She finds herself in a room with a Lycan Hallwalker and a Queen's Guard. If she wants to run for the final room, she's going to have to populate and then attack her way through these 3 enemies here. She's got to be careful. 9 action points. That's quite a lot, to be fair. That is quite a lot. So she's running 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That leaves her with 4 action points. Now we're going to roll 1d6 and populate 1, 2 or 3 enemies. It's all of them. Skeleton number 3, Queen's Guard number 1 and Wild Hound number 1. So in the order that they were spawned, skeleton number 3 is placed on spawn point 1, Queen's Guard number 1 gets placed on spawn point 2, and Wild Hound number 1 gets placed on spawn point 3. And unfortunately for Erin, the order that the spawn points are placed on the board means that it's the Queen's Guard that's all up in her face. So the other 2 can't get through the Queen's Guard if she's toe-to-toe with one of them. But this is still not an ideal situation because she's got a Lycan Hallwalker right up behind her as well. So I don't think there's anything she can do. I think she has to defend herself. She's got 4 action points remaining. So she's going to move back 1. She's going to attack the Lycan Hallwalker for 4. It defends with much more than 4, 16. She's going to attack the Lycan Hallwalker again. 5, oh dear. Yep, it's fine. 3rd attack on the Lycan Hallwalker. That's a bit better at 10. It defends. 9, you nibble another health point away, but I fear we could be witnessing the end of Erin Bloodborne here. This is her final attack. 5, it defends. Ouch, with a satisfying 13. So that, I'm afraid, is the end of the character turn. It's now onto the enemies, and the very first enemy to go is the Lycan Hallwalker. Erin Bloodborne has 4 health. So, in order to be insta-killed, the Lycan Hallwalker with its 3d6 needs to roll 16. It is possible, but not probable. However, if you can all see that, with 16, Erin Bloodborne only defends with 2d6, so she could roll a maximum of 12. She's just been attacked with 16. She's out of there. Erin Bloodborne has been killed by the Lycan Hallwalker. So now it's all down to Ragnar Agathorn and Norlessa Tundershak. All of Erin's treasure goes to the bottom. I shall take her standee off the table, meaning that now all of these enemies will all magnetise back towards our 2 brave heroes. Now currently there's only 15 gold pieces worth of treasure on either side of that plate. They need to get it up to 100 before the big guys make it there, and these big guys move quick. So the Lycan Hallwalker has just killed Erin Bloodborne. The Queen's Guard now has a turn and has a movement of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now Skeleton 3. 1, 2, 3. Now Queen's Guard number 1 has a movement of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And Wild Hound number 1 also has a movement of 5 this time. 1, 2, 3 will take it up behind its colleagues, and it can't get onto squares 4 or 5, so that's as far as it's going to go. However, scary times ahead. Norlessa Tundershak is now rolling for her action points. Yeah, they got totally squished. Totally squished, yeah. Let's have a look. Marvin, I found my old Citadel miniatures. Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. A bunch of dwarfs that I painted years ago. Awesome, man. Oh, are they the lead ones or the plastic ones? I had a few lead figures when in the past when I was a kid. Erin on the scales, yeah. Yeah, I'm afraid, given that it's a dark necromantic dungeon, the moment that Erin was killed, she disappeared to mist. And if she had any death markers, her soul would just be wafting around the start room waiting for her next turn. But unfortunately, because I made her mortal this time, she's gone. Metal ones, awesome, mate, awesome. Really cool. Really good. It always used to frustrate me when I bent swords and things and bent bolters from the Space Marines that I had. I had a few Space Marines in metal back in the day. They were expensive, weren't they? Even then, they were super expensive. And now looking back at the modern plastic ones, and thinking, you know, I mean, okay, I can kind of understand if you're casting metal, but blimey, there's some really expensive ones. An interview I have coming up, it's a bit of a spoiler, but one of the questions they're thinking about asking me is why I've gone for standees and not minis for this game, for this first iteration anyway. And the reason is that I want it to be accessible to everyone. I want it to be like a family game, and it's really hard to get a game with this many minis that's going to be below 50 or 60 quid. So I think 35 quid's quite a good price point for this, and one of the major reasons we can keep the price down while keeping the quality up is because of the fact that we're using standees instead of actually minis. So look, that's true. The Reaper stalks and takes away fast. Yeah, I mean, we had 4 characters stuffed full of gold earlier. And now Norless is rolling for action points with, I mean, the enemies are at the door. So let's see how many action points she's got. She's got 6. And the only, okay, she's got 7 health of 12. 15 either side. So, okay, she has Bilton's Brew and a large health vial. She may regret this, but she's going to place 1 on each side. What that's going to do is going to bring each side up to 30. So of her, that leaves her with 4 action points. So now we've got 30 gold pieces worth of stuff on either side of the Gorgon scale. They just about had enough to pay the ferryman, yeah, because all their treasure went straight to the bottom, White Rose Dragon, yeah, absolutely. So she's got 4 action points left. What's she going to do? She does have 2 scrolls. She has 2 scrolls: a scroll of defense and a scroll of power. One will give her an optional. One will give her an extra d6 in defense. The other will give her an extra d6 in attack. There are enemies at the gate, but we need to get this scale filled up. And once the stuff's been put on the scale, even if the character that put them there is killed, the stuff stays on the scale. So, for the greater good, she's going to use 2 of her remaining 4 action points to place another 10 gold pieces worth of extremely useful magical scroll on either side of the scales. The scales now have 40 gold pieces worth each. She doesn't have anything else that's worth 10. She's got a clay pot and a gold piece. The clay pot's worth 3, the gold piece is worth 1. She's got 2 action points remaining. She can't make it over to the enemy to attack them. She can't even get within range for her specialist skill. All she can do now with her 2 remaining action points, and she's going to, because she's crazy, is she's going to have a search. And she finds another clay pot. She finds a clay pot, leaving her with a single action point. And, oh dear. Yeah, she's going to have a final search with her final action point. An empty scroll. Okay, so the empty scroll's worth 2. She's got 2 clay pots worth 3 each. She's got 1 gold piece worth 1. We're now moving on to Ragnar Agathorn, who is also next to the Gorgon scale, rolling for action points. The Gorgon scale currently has 40 gold pieces on each side. We need 10 more on each side. And Ragnar Agathorn does not have 20 gold pieces worth of stuff yet. But he's got 11 action points. That should be enough to do this, guys. That should be enough. If we're not very unlucky, that should be enough. Ragnar's got 11 action points. He's going to use 1 to search and finds a gold piece. That's not good enough. Another search. He finds another gold piece. Oh no. Third search. The white key, which is worth 5. Right, so I've got 15, 16, 17, 18. I've got 19 gold pieces worth of stuff now. I need 20. So The final search yields, oh no! Right Delirium. Right Delirium drains away Ragnar Agathorn's remaining action points, leaving him stunned, and it's the enemy turn. We're going to have to survive one more enemy turn, guys. Ragnar has 5 health points. Norlessa has 7 health points out of a possible 12. The Lycan Hallwalker's coming. It's not going to be able to get to them, but it moves 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 is all it can do. Queen's Guard number 4 is going to tuck up 1, 2, 3, 4 behind its mates. It can't use all of its either. Skeleton number 3 has a movement of 3. 1, 2, 3, but it can't get anywhere. Queen's Guard number 1. 1, 2, 3 is all it needs of its 6 movement in order to attack Norlessa Thundershack, which it does. Norlessa has 7 health points. 10. Norlessa defends. She'd love to have a scroll of defence, but it's currently sitting there on the Gorgon scale, defending against 10. Oh no! Damn this dungeon! She's rolled a 3, guys. She's defending against 10. The difference is 7. This is Norlessa's health marker. She's taken 7 damage. I think we know what that means, don't we? Norlessa. Any idea how close our heroes are to completing this quest right now? That Norlessa has just been killed to death until dead by Queen's Guard number 1. Wild Hound number 1's still there. Wild Hound number 1 might be able to have a go at Ragnar now. Oh, White Rose Dragon. Oh. Bye, Norlessa. Right, Ragnar remains. However, the Wild Hound's still got to go here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It can. the Wild Hound can make it to Ragnar Agathorn. Here we go. Ragnar Agathorn has 5 health points. The Wild Hound is attacking with 2d6 and scores a magnificent 8. Ragnar defends and scores. Oh no! 6. Loses 2 of his 5 health points. Ragnar is down to 3 health points. That's the end of the enemy turn. It is Ragnar's turn. There's 40 gold pieces on each side of the Gorgon scale. We need 20 that will split exactly into 10. He has 5, 5. Did I say 19? Yeah, I said 19, didn't I? He's got 19 gold pieces worth. Come on, Ragnar. We can do this. But 19 gold pieces. To put these 19 gold pieces worth down, it's going to cost me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 action points to do. And even that's not enough. Rolling for action points. Ragnar Agathorn, our one surviving member. It's good. It's 9. Ragnar has got to do a danger search. Finds a snake bite. Of course he does. No, he hasn't lost hope. He hasn't lost hope. He's got 8 action points. Just needs to defend himself against this bite. 1, 2 or 3 unharmed. 4, 5 or 6 lose a health point. Kind of predictable. Loses a health point. He's now down to 2 health points. With 8 action points remaining. He's got to do another search. No! Writes Delirium again. Again. An ethereal voice calls out your name from the shadows. Ragnar, you've had it. Your vision blurs. Confused and disorientated. Your turn ends. How close are we, guys? We are literally 1 gold piece worth of treasure away from being able to complete this. And it's the enemy turn. The Lycan Hallwalker still can't make it. 1, 2, 3, 4. But it's kind of annoyed about it. Queen's Guard number 4 has a movement of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can't make it. Skeleton number 3. 1, 2. Can make it. 1, 2, 3. Yes. Can make it. Skeleton number 3 attacks Ragnar Agathorn. Ragnar has 2 health points remaining. And the skeleton is attacking with 2d6. Ragnar is defending with 2d6. Here comes the skeleton's attack. It's 7. Ragnar's defense. If it's 5, it's over. Oh, it's all over. It's all over. The difference is 2. Ragnar has 2 health points remaining, and with a single gold piece's worth of treasure to find, 19 gold pieces worth of treasure in his hand, and 80 of a required 180 gold pieces worth of treasure on the scales, Ragnar Agathorn has been killed by the Gorgon Queen's forces. The Gorgon's Loch, this time, is victorious. Thanks for joining us. All of Ragnar's treasure disappears to the bottom of the pile, and poor Ragnar Agathorn's soul disappears into the ether. So there we are. And what took him out in the end? Well, it was a little skeleton. We've got 2 Queen's Guards, a wild hound and a lichen hallwalker on the table. Well, what took him out? A snake bite and then a skeleton. So there we are. That is most definitely a whooping. It was very close. I thought we were going to make it there. I thought it was going to be an exciting finish. It was an exciting finish, but as it turns out, it was an exciting finish for the enemies, who absolutely kicked our butts. So there we are, the Gorgon's Loch. Yet another run through, randomly chosen number of characters, randomly chosen characters. Away we went, split the party. That was definitely the mistake. Dead. There we are. That's another run through of the Gorgon's Loch for you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you'll share I hope you share the link with your friends and families and anyone else who's into gaming. We have 8 days to get this done. We are currently standing at just over 53 or just under 54% funded. I can't actually see the total at the moment, so if anybody wants to enlighten me and let me know exactly where we are at the moment, the last I checked we were at £8,555 exactly, with 177 brave adventurers joining our campaign. So I'm not sure where we are at the minute. Yeah, pretty tense, White Rose Dragon, pretty tense. I can't believe it. I can believe it. It's happened before, but I still can't believe it when that happens. It's so unpredictable. It's so unpredictable. The combat system doesn't feel unfair. It works. It works well, but it's so unpredictable. And yeah, that was a genuine bona fide ass whooping we just got there from the Gorgon's Loch. But for a while, it looked like we were going to make it. It looked like we were going to scrape on through, you know. But sadly, not this time for our brave adventurers. It was still a laugh, though. I enjoyed it. And I guess that's the thing, isn't it? It's about winning all the time. What's that about? It's about having a nice time. And yeah, I definitely 100% had a fun time doing that. And, you know, let's be honest now. I've played this game over 1,000 times solo. I've played it hundreds of times with teams. Yeah, I've played this game a lot. I think if anyone is allowed to be bored of this game by now, it should be me, right? But no, I'm really not. That was exciting. I can feel my heart rate's up, which is exactly what you want from a fun, quick start, easy to learn, family friendly tabletop board game. Splitting the group, I think, was a mistake. Yeah, and the thing is, the authentic version of this, the Gorgon Queen and the Queen's Guards wouldn't have been there. However, the vast majority of damage was done by the Queen's Guard. Sorry, by the Lichen Hallwalker, and of course the Lichen Hallwalker would have been in this because this is the 5th scenario. So yeah, it's really interesting how it works out. You know, really interesting how it works out, and it seems to work out like that every time. There's always something just subtly different about every time we play this thing through, and it impresses me. I know I'm the designer and everything, but there's you know, there are things that outside of the designer's remit that just happen. You know, you're not in control of everything. Having that random factor is extremely important, and yeah, I think it worked quite well, don't you? I think it worked quite well. So there we are. I'll leave the campaign booklet on the top. I'll just collect the rest of the cards and the action and health point counters. So yeah, I mean, have you got any? Yeah, the Queen hardly did a thing. Yeah, she did attack, but it was a very weak attack. And the very next turn, Norlessa took her out with the old Scroll of Death, the old SOD. So no, the Queen hardly did a thing, and she was the very first enemy pulled as well, White Rose Dragon. The very first enemy we pulled out of there. I'm not sure if you joined us for the very start of this, but yeah, she was the very first enemy drawn. So there we are. That's another closed box to closed box run through of the Gorgon's Loch. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you will immediately go and pledge for 1,000 boxes at least. Thanks very much. Appreciate it. Look, cheers guys. Thanks a lot for joining us in chat. It's been really cool. Any questions and stuff you've got, please go ahead and drop them into the comments section of the Kickstarter. I'll be back on there in about 5 or 10 minutes, just chatting about this run through. I'll get everything from Twitch. I'll drag it all down, download it all, and then I will throw everything back up to YouTube as well. Now, obviously, the comments won't be there on YouTube, but hopefully, I've been kind of putting them in context as we've gone through. So yeah, thanks very much for joining us, Marvin and White Rose and Penny and Anne Marie and Melody. Just thanks for coming along and making it fun. So the Gorgon Queen is victorious, even though she was pulled out straight away and killed almost immediately. But well done, Queenie. You've done it again. Don't be too smug about it. We will be back the day after tomorrow with another run through. I'll be doing the same thing. 1d6 to work out which of the 6 scenarios we're playing, 1d6 to work out how many characters, and then just running on from there and running the whole thing solo. So I'll see you in a couple of days, guys. I'll be in the comment section in the next few minutes, and obviously through the night. If you've got any questions for me, ask me anything at all. I will have an answer for you. And yeah, thanks again. So we've got 8 days to do this. It's going to be a week left tomorrow. We finish at 8 p.m. GMT on Saturday. Is it Saturday or Sunday? I think it's Saturday, but it's the 30th anyway. It's not the last day of the month. It's the 30th, which I think is a Saturday. And it's 8 p.m. GMT we finish. So I'll be doing a congratulations / commiserations stream at around 7:30, and starting to run through. So we'll actually see the thing end live on air. So feel free to join me for that in a week as well. But otherwise, I'll be back doing this in a day or two. Sorry, the day after tomorrow. Back on Twitch, and in the meantime I may well do an impromptu homebrew or whatever, and you'll get your notification that we're live as long as you're hitting that like and subscribe button to the Fantastic Books Publishing Twitch channel. So thanks a lot for joining us, guys. Farewell, congratulations to the Gorgon Queen's forces, and I shall see you in the updates. Farewell, adventurers. Thank you.